It's been vacant since the 90s, and just take a look inside. You can see how much it has deteriorated over the past century. But there is new hope now for the old Sanchez y Haya Building. That's on East Columbus, Ybor. The J.C. Newman Cigar Company, they bought it. They've got some big plans for it. But you can see there's a lot of work to do, and Jen Holton is out there. We saw some of those images you showed on Twitter today. That is a big project in lots of different ways.
Oh, yes, absolutely, Cynthia. You know, inside of this building behind me, the walls are torn apart, the floors are all busted up, and in some parts of the building, there aren't even ceilings. So the J.C. Newman Cigar Company really has their work cut out for them. But first off, they got to deal with a couple of tenants that have been there for many, many years, and that's thousands upon thousands of bats.
When the J.C. Newman Cigar Company bought this building back in 2020, right off the bat, they knew what their first task would be.
Our current residents, approximately 5,000 bats that are living in the second floor roof line.
The Sanchez y Haya Building along East Columbus Avenue was a restaurant and hotel in the 19-teens. By Prohibition era, it was hosting and getting caught for illegal liquor operations. By the 90s, it was the chip-in bar.
There are all kinds of newspaper articles about interesting things that have happened here, burglaries, murders, stabbings.
Walls that hold a century of stories, but also thousands of bats.
They're incredibly small. They're about the size of an adult thumb, and they can fit through a hole that's probably about, I'd say, ½ an inch.
Malia Baker, Eric Newman's executive assistant, was actually somewhat of a bat enthusiast already, so she's been tasked with helping rehome them around their mating season.
So our plan is to build them a couple of bat homes and have them installed prior to that, so that the bats can actually have their pups in this new home, so that once we do start the excluding from this building, we're not leaving any pups behind.
Once the bats are out, the work begins.
Next year, we're really going to dive in and start making final plans on what we want to do with this building. Right now, we're thinking returning the upstairs into an inn, as it was historically, and then downstairs a daytime cafe and a cigar lounge to be a complement to our visitor experiences at the factory.
They don't know how much money will go into the restoration, but estimate that it could cost millions because of how much wear has happened over a century.
This was actually one of the first buildings in Tampa that was built with steel and concrete construction, which is great unless there's water getting into the steel and concrete, and then it's going to start falling apart, and that's what's happened over the years.
So you guys, they plan on rehoming these bats right here, right across the street. They're going to be building those new homes for them, and they've got to work around their mating season, which is mid-April to mid-August, but they've got that all planned out. Back to you.
Yeah, and I am so happy. I really applaud their efforts to do the environmentally right thing by all those bats that live there, because they've been there a long time too, I am sure, Jennifer. And Linda and I just were
Absolutely
looking.
In there, yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. What were you going to say?
Yeah, they said there was no other option.
Yeah, I'm really happy to hear that. And you can see the potential in that building. It's going to be amazing when it's done. So, all right. Thank you. Good story there.